Today I thought I would talk to y'all about my prepping regrets. Regret might actually be a strong word because I don't believe necessarily in any kind of prepping regret, but maybe things that I would do differently or things that I've learned from my mistakes because that's how we learn is through our mistakes. So I've noticed that there's a new wave of preppers out there that are stumbling across some prepper channels, and I just thought it'd be good to do kind of you know, put out there some of the things that I would do differently that maybe can save them time and money by learning through my mistakes. Or so I've got a list here. Just gonna kind of keep it informal. Um, so I would say one of the things I would do differently is don't buy multiples of things until you try them. Let's say you go to the store and there's a sale 10 for 10 on something and it's something you've never tried before. Just because it's on sale, don't get 10 of them unless you've tried it once. So there's been some hit or miss things that I've bought multiples of, and somebody in my family or none of us liked it, and we ended up just getting rid of it. But so don't buy multiples. Um, I would say don't can an abundance of things until you've tried it once. I know that's kind of hard because canning is a multi-step, long, all-day process. There's been a couple things that we've canned that we just straight up didn't like. I know we did some Italian sausage. Just the taste, it just didn't taste the same. It just wasn't good. So we're going to end up using that and maybe incorporating it into some homemade dog food or something. What else? Now, we canned hot dogs, but my husband did not like those. I loved the taste of them. I thought they were great. We did the little smokies. We all have different taste buds, and we're not going to think the same of everything, but just be mindful of that when you're canning. Make sure you try something before you turn around and just make an abundance of it. So there's that. And probably something else I would do differently is I don't think I would stock up on so much dehydrated stuff. Augustin Farms, I'm going to use them as an example. Great company, and I've bought many things either on sale on Amazon or on their clearance. But a lot of that stuff I've just put away and haven't tried. If it's good for up to 30 or 40 years and I don't get around to tasting it, how am I going to know if I like it or not? I know that we've tried dehydrating some things, and for example, broccoli, and it just doesn't. I mean, I didn't expect it to plump back up to its original size, but some things once the water is all taken out of them, they just don't rehydrate the same way. Another regret with regards to dehydrating is we did cubed ham, and I don't know if we cooked it too long or what, but it did not. We tried to rehydrate that, and it was just terrible. It was just all chewy and just hurt our teeth. So just be mindful of the things that you're buying that are dehydrated, and know the difference between dehydrated and freeze dried. Augustin Farms is freeze dried, so forgive me for that little slip up. But my point with that is not to be morbid, but shoot, I don't even know if I'm going to be around in 30 years or so uh, when when the stuff allegedly expires. So just be mindful of stockpiling freeze dried products that you have no intentions of trying because you might not like it or it might not rehydrate the way you want it to. And it's also kind of pricey, even when you're getting stuff on sale from Augustin Farms or Thrive Life or whatever. Just make sure you might want to just invest in one that you plan on opening and just see if it's even something you like before you invest a whole lot of money. Try. I know a lot of us can't afford freeze dryers, but a lot of us have dehydrators. Just try making some of your own uh, goods that you can put away in your long-term storage. Um, what else? What else? Don't throw away things that are past their best by date. I have learned over my years of prepping that things can go years past their There's a difference too between best by and expiration date. Best by just means maybe the quality has changed a little bit, but you can probably still doctor it up with seasonings and it'll taste fine. So there's so much food waste. I would just make sure that you use your five senses that God gave you. Just look at it, smell it, taste it. If it's all good, then don't throw it away. Or if you're just not comfortable, maybe give it to someone else if you just don't want to try it, but don't just throw it away. And something else I would do different is not repurposing my scraps, my fresh produce. I've noticed that the things we get at the store doesn't last as long as it used to. I mean, we might bring something home and a couple days later it's turning bad. So take those scraps and repurpose them. I did a video the other day on taking some kind of past their prime grapes and making fruit leather out of it. And you can do jello, jam, juice, whatever. I've talked about a book I got called Don't Throw It, Grow It. So be sure to take your scraps, and if you're able to replant them and grow them, try that. Just don't automatically always throw away your scraps. And the things that you can't really do anything to salvage, if you've got a little compost bin, there's plenty of videos out there on how to make your own homemade compost bin. And then throw it in there and turn it into fertilizer to use in your yard. So, and then the next thing I'll talk about is don't go into debt trying to keep up with other preppers you see, especially on YouTube. I've said this before, you don't know other people's circumstances, how many people they're prepping for. They may have a family of 8 children. You may be a, 1 or 2 family. So take that into consideration. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses when it comes to prepping. Do what's right for your family. This is something I've been guilty of, don't be afraid to touch your preps. Once you finally get your pantry looking a certain way, this isn't Pinterest, so don't get your pantry all stocked the way you want it, where it's all pretty, and then go, oh, I'm not going to use anything, because then it won't look the same way. Don't be afraid to use your preps. You need to be using them, or they're eventually going to go bad. You're supposed to be using them and kind of moving through it, and when you go to the store and get more, put it in the back, and so don't be afraid to use your preps. This is something else I would do different, plan meals around what's gonna be past its best by date first. Okay, so like I have this little bin that I'll walk around my pantry every month. Once a month I go and I just gather things that are approaching their best by date, and then I try to make a meal out of it. I'll try to throw it together. If I've got an open thing of pasta, a sauce that's supposed to be past its best by in a week or so, plan your meals around that. That's the best way to avoid having so many things go bad. Let's see. Something else I would do different is try to go to the grocery store and purchase items based on when they go on sale. That doesn't mean that you need to buy something because it's on sale if it's something that you don't eat or your family doesn't like. But instead of just going out to the store and shopping randomly, maybe just look for the sales online. And because gas is expensive too, we can no longer just drive from store to store and comparison shop. But so yeah, that's another thing that I would say. I believe, yeah. So that's it for now. I just mainly wanted to hop on here, tell you some of the things that if I could do them differently or do them over again, those are some of the things that I would do. And I recommend that anybody that's seeing this video, tell me some of the things that you've learned from that you would do different. If you were to give advice to new preppers out there, how to keep them from, falling into the same trap that we've fallen in, and how to not waste their money or their time, what would you suggest that they do differently? I hope that y'all are having a wonderful day. Take care.